Hey everyone, my name is V, and if you're anything like me and you create parts catalogs for a living, you might have a good idea on how much time it would take to create a parts catalog like this one. On my screen, I have a parts catalog in PDF format that I'm currently cycling through, and this parts catalog has over 800 pages. How long do you think it took me to create something like this? Or how about this one? This is a OpenGL flipbook version of the parts catalog. How long do you think it took me to create this one? Or alternatively, here is a fully interactive version of a parts catalog that has interactive hot points, which you can click on like this, which would highlight number 10, or you can click here on number 13, which would highlight number 13. You can search. For example, I can search for frame. This will show me everywhere in the parts catalog that either there is a part named frame or the assemblies itself, like in this case, this frame bucket conveyor is a frame itself. Before I go any further, let me know down in the comments if you create parts catalogs, how long do you think it would take me to create um, a large parts catalog over 800 pages like this one? I'm curious to know if you create parts books, how long do you think something like this would take? Do you think it would take 3 hours, 4 days, maybe 2 weeks? Or how about 20 minutes? No, 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 it didn't take 20 minutes. It actually only took 10 minutes. And that's what I want to show you guys today. I want to show you how we can build using um, this advanced tips platform system for creating parts catalogs, how we can create a fully interactive, fully hot pointed, fully searchable, interactive parts catalog, as well as the OpenGL flipbook and the legacy PDF, all three versions of the parts catalog in less than 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. So this machine here, this commercial Brinstar, this is the same machine that I showed in the PDF version, the OpenGL version, and this fully interactive version of the book. I have a sister machine, an OEMD 505 that I need to build, which is quite similar to this one, but it's not exactly the same. So the new one that I need to build is this one, and I'm going to show you guys today how we can do that in tips in less than 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. So if we go to the site app.oemdocs.com/tips, actually let me log out so I can show you from the very, very beginning. Okay, so app.oemdocs.com. Going to drag this bar to the right. Go ahead and click login. Okay, so to create this new parts catalog, I'm going to go ahead and click create new interactive parts catalog. We're going to create a new top level assembly. This is going to be for the OEMD 505. This is also a commercial Brinstar machine. For the content ID, I'll give it the same thing, 505. The serial number is OEMD 505. It is an interactive parts catalog. If I just type I, the system will offer suggestions. And the machine model is type B, so we'll go ahead and put that. Click create/go. And okay, so now I essentially have a blank, empty parts catalog or parts manual for this OEMD 505, and I want to show you how we can how we're going to create this. So first thing I'm going to do is resize my window. Normally I would work on two monitors, but I can't screen record the second monitor, so I'm going to pull up. If you just bear with me a second here. Yeah, here we go. So here's the data for this OEMD 505. Basically, I just have a folder of CSVs. Each CSV is the parts list for an assembly. So let me show you what that looks like. That just looks something like this. Just has your item numbers, part names, quantity. It's just 4 or 5 columns. And in another folder, I have drawings, which are essentially the images for the parts catalog, which look like this. And we have our top level assembly here. Now I'm going to put this window here on the left. Like I said, normally I would do this on a second monitor, but for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to just put it right here on the left so you can actually see, because I'm going to be doing quite a bit of dragging and dropping. Okay, so we have our blank book here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag and drop this top level parts list over here on the right. So here on the right, we have different options for importing the parts list. I'm going to use option 2, which is drag and drop file. So I'm just going to drag and drop over here. That gives us an import screen that looks like this, and I'm going to go ahead and click import parts list. And now watch what happens. Now, the system, because this is a sister machine that uses probably, I don't know, maybe 80 or 90% of the same assemblies, the TIP system has already recognized which assemblies and structures and sub-assemblies and substructures have already been created, and it reuses them. So for example, this part here, transform parts, you can see that it now exists over here. But not just that assembly, also the child assemblies, the additional sheets. And sheet 3 has its own child assembly of this tag mountain, which I can click on over here. So all these structures have already been included in the parts catalog by virtue of the system. The system already knew that these existed, and so it included them. Okay, now the top level, the commercial Brinstar up here, we can see there's this yellow icon. That's letting me know that there's no image there. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. You can see here in the middle, there is no image. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my drawings. I'm going to look for OEM D505. And to publish that, it's really as simple as just dragging and dropping. Just going to drag and drop. That will upload. And just like that, we now have our image here. Okay, so 80 or 90% of the book is now already complete because those assemblies and structures have previously existed. Now the question is, how do we build the remaining parts of the parts catalog? How do we know which assemblies are required? How do we know which part of the book they belong, like which sections they belong to, and things like that. So I'm going to now show you how we go ahead and do that. Okay, so for us to figure out what needs to be created for the rest of the book, the TIP system has this great feature here in the VTech dropdown called Run VTech Assist. And if I go ahead and click that, the system will automatically figure out and calculate which assemblies are missing, but not only which assemblies are missing, where they're missing. So we can see here the system is telling me that the assistant found 8 assemblies that need to be created. It gives me a little preview of what they are. But the important thing is this, this little yellow caution icon here. So if I click got it, the system is letting me know that any entry in this table of contents where there's this yellow caution icon, it has found or figured out that this assembly doesn't exist, but that it should exist. Now, if I scroll down, you can see there's another one here, there's a bucket conveyor over here, etc. Now, how do we create those assemblies? It's actually very simple. We just click. So the moment I click on cover panels enclosure, that assembly has now been created. There is no drawing, there is no parts list. The yellow caution icon has now been removed and replaced with 2 new yellow icons. This first icon lets me know that there's no parts list. The second icon lets me know that there's no image. And this will be important for later. Now, for right now, I'm only going to be publishing the parts list. We'll come back to the images later. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to go over here to those CSVs. And by the way, the TIP system supports XML, CSV, JSON, many different data formats. And in this example, I just happen to be using CSV. So how do we go ahead and publish this assembly? Well, 878, I'm going to type that in. 4 ends with 142. That's this one. So I'm going to drag and drop over here to option 2. I'm going to leave all of the import settings as they were figured out by the system, and I'm just going to click import parts list. Okay, So that assembly has now been created. We have the parts list, but now notice that there's a child assembly or a substructure that the system has now figured out it's also missing. So how do I create this sheet 2? I just go ahead and click here. That will now create it. Now I need to publish the parts list. So how do I do that? I go back to my data set, 528. It ends in 505. I'm just going to drag and drop over here. Click import parts list. And now that's done. Okay, let's continue on. We need to publish this transport guides, this 885 over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that. I'm going to type in 885 on my keyboard. That's this one. Drag and drop. Go ahead and import. Let the system do that. Okay, now it's telling me that it also found a substructure that needs to be created. That's this sheet 2 version, this 450. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 450 over here. We're going to be doing quite a bit of dragging and dropping. Okay, so import that. That now goes there. Let's check out this bucket conveyor. How do I create that? I just click, come over here to my data, 160. It ends in 818. I'm just going to drag and drop. Click import parts list. Now, in this case, notice that the system had found that some of the substructures on this assembly, once I created the parts list, already existed in the system. So it went ahead and reused those, but it did not find this one. It did not find sheet 3 for it, and it has figured out that that needs to be created. So how do we create that? Same thing as we did before. Go ahead and click that. I'm going to come here and type 796. It ends with 635. Drag and drop. Click import. And now, once again, it reused some of the substructures, but it also found that this first one doesn't exist. So I'm going to go ahead and click that to create it. I'm now going to come over here, type 280, ends in 339. We'll go ahead and drag and drop that. Click import parts list. And once again, it's reusing the substructures, but it didn't find this one. So we're going to go, how do we create that assembly? Same thing like before. We just click on it. Going to go ahead, type 110. It ends with 812. Drag and drop, import parts list. So I think you get the picture that the system is walking me through exactly what parts of the book need to be created. So let's go ahead and continue doing this. We're going to go ahead and finish these. So 515. Ends in 982, drag and drop, click on import. It's going to reuse what it needs to. We need to publish this, so that's a 411. Come here, 411, ends in 20, no, it actually ends in, whoops, that ends in 770, so that's going to be this guy. So we drag and drop like that. And we're good there. This magazine, we need to create that. That's going to be 579. Ends in 250, drag and drop, import. Okay, it reused. There was nothing we needed to create there. Go down to the loader assembly, 479, like this, 689, import. Let the system work its magic. Click on 402. Come over here, 402, 825, drag and drop, import. All right, we scroll down some more. Speed belt, we're going to click on that. 165, it ends in 916, drag and drop, import parts list. System is reusing what it needs to. 842 we need to create, so we click that. We come here to 842. 403, drag and drop, import parts list. And I'm running through this fairly quick so I can try to finish the book in the 10 minutes that the first machine took me. It might take slightly longer because I'm explaining what I'm doing and doing this on video. But let's see how close to the 10 minutes I can get, because we're about halfway done. 428, 682, drag and drop, import parts list. System does its thing. We need this 313 here, so we click that. Go to 313, 738, drag and drop, import parts list. And it's basically just going to be a kind of rinse and repeat process. 787 ends in 967, drag and drop, click import. We need this 471 over here. And this is a very large machine, as you can probably tell as I work through this. But the system is essentially walking me through what needs to be done. It's guiding me. Okay, I don't see any more of those yellow exclamations. Just to be sure, let's go ahead and run the VTech Assist one more time. It's telling me there are no missing assemblies. Excellent. Now I want to run this show assemblies with empty parts list just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Success. There are no empty parts lists in this book. Excellent. I didn't miss anything. Now let's go back to these yellow icons. It's letting me know, hey, there's no image on this cover panels. So if I click that, it'll take me to that assembly and let me know that, hey, there's no image here. So how do I publish that? Well, it's quite similar. I go to my drawings folder, 878, ends in 142. We just drag and drop to the middle panel now. And just like that, we have the image and the hot points. You can see they're already linked up. The system is already linked up. Oh, excuse me. Let's come to sheet 2 here. We need 528. 528 ends in 505. Drag and drop. That publishes that. Let's do this 885. 885 ends in 728. Drag and drop. And we're just going to repeat this process, just rinse and repeat to finish this book. And it's really that easy. 450 ends in 934. Drag and drop. The system is essentially walking me through exactly what needs to be done. So we need this bucket conveyor image here. That's a 160818. Drag and drop here. We need sheet 3. That's a 796. 796. 635. Drag and drop. We need this one. This is a 280. So we just click, type in 280, drag and drop. Bada bing, bada boom. Over here is a 110. So 110. 812. Do like this. And let's see, what else? What else? We need this flap, this 515. 515. Ends in 982. Drag and drop. Here's a 411 that we need. 411 ends in 770. Drag and drop. Put that into the system. What else? Magazine. This 579. 579. Drag and drop. Here we go. 479. We do like this. 689. Drag and drop. And I think we're getting close to the end. I don't think there's that many more. 402, 825. Let's see, what else? Speed belt, 165. That's this one. Drag and drop that one as well. This one ends in 403, 842, 403. Drag and drop. And we're getting close to the bottom now. 428, 682, drag and drop. This one is a 313, 738, drag and drop. 787. That's this one. And I think, yeah, this might be the last one here, this 471. Okay, 471, 157, drag and drop. And just like that, I believe we have fully completed this sister machine, this commercial Brinstar. And just to double check, I'm going to go ahead and use this VTech show assemblies with missing images. And that checks and just lets me know that I didn't miss anything. Success. There are no missing drawings in this book. And just like that, we have a fully interactive parts catalog that's fully hot pointed, fully searchable. The search, you can do all kinds of cool things, like let's see if there's any parts that begin with 1, 2 star. You can use wildcards. This will search the entire structure. It lets me know that, hey, within the commercial Brinstar and within transform parts, and these are grayed out, you can't click on these while the search is active because it didn't find anything on those, but it remains in the table of contents, so you know the structure of what you're looking at. So this sheet 4, we know that it's a child of this, and this is a child of this, etc. So I found 1, 2 star. The system is letting me know that, hey, there's one part match here. I can scroll down. Here's an example of self, because this frame bucket begins with 1, 2, right? So 1, 2, and then 5, 1, 8. So it found itself. If I were to click on one of these, it'll actually highlight that part. Now, if I search for a full part number like 478 183 478 183 that's an exact part number, and it will find that and it will highlight it just like this. So we now have the fully interactive parts catalog. To create the PDF and the OpenGL versions of the book, that's really simple. We just click on print. Actually, I'm going to clear the search first. Let's clear that. This way we have the full TOC here, and then I'm going to say print book. You can choose your paper size, your orientation. I'm going to choose landscape, include subassemblies, yes. Start engineering drawing on the left, yeah. Print with colored style, sure. Go ahead and click print, and that's going to fire off a job that goes into the status center. And to do a giant machine like this, I guess I would call this a behemoth of a machine, where it ends up being, over 800 pages, it's probably going to take the system, I don't know, maybe 6 minutes, something like that to generate. So I'm not going to hold you guys up while the system generates that. I'll pause the video here, let it generate, and then I will show you the output. So let's go ahead and go to Status Center. We can see that it's processing. I'll go ahead and pause here, and I'll be back in just a moment as soon as this completes. Okay, everybody, I am now back, and we can see that this book that we just printed to PDF is now complete. It took just a little over 400 seconds. I'm here in the Status Center where we get all kinds of info about this job. There's a task log that lets us know what the system was doing. And here's the task output. Now, this is where we get the extra versions of the book. So if you or your customer still require a legacy PDF, we can download that, or we can open it. So I'll just go ahead and click download. That's going to fire off the download of that PDF. In the meantime, while that's downloading, I do want to show you that we do have the OpenGL version of the book, which if I click on that, it is a 832 page parts catalog that we just built. So it's probably going to take just a moment to render. Here we go. And so here's the title page, which is customizable. Here's the table of contents. I'm going to cycle through these quickly because there's a lot of them. So let's try maybe page 41. Yeah, here we go. Let's go back one. Yeah, here we go. So here's the machine. Has a giant parts list, which continues for multiple pages. And then this page is intentionally left blank because I chose to always start the engineering drawing on the left, which you can see here. So yeah, so we have the OpenGL version of the book. We have the fully interactive version of the book with the hot points and search, and you can add to cart just by clicking on these, which if you look up here, there's a pretty cool animation where it kind of drops the parts into the cart, which you can view cart, submit the order to ERP. That's fairly straightforward. And then the legacy PDF that was generated, I can now show you that, which is this guy right here. If I open this download, here it is. So here's the PDF version of the book. So yeah, it might have taken a little more than 10 minutes because I was explaining as I went along. But normally, if I'm not recording and I just create the book, yeah, it usually takes 10 minutes. If it's a smaller book, it's even less. But here's the crazy thing: if we needed to create a brand new book from scratch, where it's not a sister machine and there's nothing being reused, so we need to create, let's say, a 300 assembly machine, completely brand new. How long does that take? Well, TIPS actually has a way to automatically do that, and that only takes 1 or 2 minutes. And that'll be a future video on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And that'll likely be our next video where I show you a brand new machine. None of the assemblies are pre-existent. It's not reusing any structures, and how TIPS can build that entire book literally within just 1 or 2 minutes. So that'll be coming next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions or are interested in learning more about the TIP system, I'd encourage you to go to the oemdocs.com website. There's a video on the homepage which shows what TIPs can do. There's a lot more that can be done within the system, more than I've shown today. You can learn more about OEM Docs and our TIPS software. You can call us or contact us, request a demo, anything like that. So if you have any questions or would like to speak with us, just reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. So hope you guys enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. See ya.